coming up on Small Town Big Deal. Saddle up for the world's largest public Buffalo Roundup.
This is an adrenaline rush like nothing else.
I'm lost in the middle of the state park.
Who's got what it takes to be a whip-cracking wrangler? And the important mission to protect this majestic American icon.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl.
We're at home on the range, but the buffalo aren't roaming, they're actually running.
And it is a rare sight as South Dakota hosts a roundup that makes you feel a part of America's Old West.
This is the only place in the world where you can watch people riding horses, chasing buffalo in front of 20,000 people.
It's just a rare, unique experience. 1,400 animals all running at the same time. If I could step in a time machine and transport myself back to the early days and see the natural bison herd, that's how I would describe the Buffalo Roundup.
Time doesn't stand still inside Custer State Park. It rumbles back centuries.
I never thought I would see that, ever.
This is home to the annual Governor's Buffalo Roundup, located in the Black Hills, about 30 miles from Rapid City, South Dakota.
When the buffalo start coming, how do you describe it?
It's like thunder. I mean, you can just feel the buffalo under your feet and your heart just starts racing.
Like when they're passing through, like you can feel them, like the rumbling ground.
The chance to see and feel the buffalo isn't the only attraction at this 3-day festival. There's also an arts and crafts exhibit with up to 150 vendors. But these magnificent beasts are definitely the main event. So the Roundup didn't actually start out as a public event, but about 15 or 20,000 come to it now, and I think every one of them were in line ahead of us coming in this morning.
What time did you have to get up to get the front row seats?
We got up at 2 o'clock, left at 2:30, and we got here at 3.
Did you come all the way from England for the Buffalo Roundup?
Yes.
What motivated you to say, I am going?
I wanted to hear the buffalo. I wanted to hear the rumble as they go past.
The roundup takes place on day 2 as they move the buffalo 5 miles. But it only takes about 15 minutes for the herd to pass by the spectators.
The first thing that you really want to hear is the crack of the whips, and you'll hear that snap. It'll sound like a 6-shooter going off. When the whip snaps, the back of your hair stands up, and you're like, oh my God, here they come.
For a quick 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. It's about all it takes, and it's beautiful.
It's organized chaos. So you got 1,400 bison stampeding, you got 60 cowboys and cowgirls hipping and hollering, and then you got the trucks kind of going around making sure everything's together. And it all comes together. It's organized chaos, and it's beautiful.
So here's an interesting buffalo fact. They're the largest mammal in North America. A male bull can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and stand 6 feet tall. I didn't even know we had a national mammal, but actually as of 2016, the buffalo is the national mammal.
And did you know that these buffalo are really bison? Buffalo are native to Africa and Asia, but French fur trappers in the U.S. in the 1600s called the bison buffalo, and the name just stuck.
Buffalo, bison, potato.
And here's how you can tell the difference. Bison have a large hump and a much bigger head.
So the buffalo and I have something in common. We're both nearsighted, but they have great smell and hearing, and they sort of grunt to communicate. Rodney would say we have that in common too.
Buffalo have roamed North America for thousands of years, and they were vital to Native Americans who relied on them for food and clothing. But the hides became a major commodity during the Western expansion, and settlers nearly hunted them into extinction by the late 1800s. So at one time there was almost 20 million bison in America, but it had dwindled to less than 1,100 by the turn of the century. So in 1905, Teddy Roosevelt formed the American Bison Society to conserve them, and today there are over 400,000.
The Buffalo Roundup continues this incredible success story of herd restoration.
Coming out!
The drive ends here, where the buffalo are herded into corrals.
So at this point, all the calves get separated from their moms just for a moment. They get tested for brucellosis, which is a reproductive disease. They also get vaccines, they get an ear tag, they get branded, then they get reunited with mom. They're not used to being handled. So
No.
How do they handle that?
They don't handle it very well. We go through a whole training with our staff to be able to keep it calm, keep it quiet. The calves usually have a harder time because this is new to them. This in their way from mom, and this is not okay.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes.
But these procedures are vital to their survival. In addition, roughly 400 buffalo are auctioned off to thin the herd.
We are a closed system. We only have so many acres for the animals here, and it's not just the buffalo. We got to include the elk, the deer, the antelope, the prairie dogs. I mean, all of them use this grassland, and we want a healthy grassland as well.
And thanks to this management system, the buffalo continue to thrive in the Black Hills.
The buffalo is America's icon, right? It is the Old West, it's still the New West, it's everything about what the country expanded to and has become.
I think it means something special for everybody, and that's a really important part of this park. We want to create those memories so people have that and they can take that home with them.
Still ahead, a discovery we will never forget.
There's the baby buffalo! Plus, the explosive story behind the making of a monumental monument. Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal, where the annual Buffalo Roundup is underway.
But it's not the only jaw-dropping spectacle in the Black Hills of South Dakota. This is where work continues on the colossal Crazy Horse Memorial that is emerging right before our eyes.
It's a really exciting time, and people will be able to see the hand come out, the mane, the horse's head start to take shape.
When it's complete, it will be the world's largest mountain sculpture, taller than a 60-story skyscraper and as long as a cruise ship, far bigger than Mount Rushmore.
You could fit all four heads in that roughed out space behind his ear. So George Washington was chin to chin with Crazy Horse. The top of George Washington's head would come up to his eyebrows.
This towering achievement began as the dream of Chief Standing Bear. He attended school, believing the best way to help his people was to learn about the ways of the non-native world. And he wanted everyone to know that Native Americans have heroes too. He found the perfect symbol in his own family. Chief Standing Bear was a cousin to Crazy Horse, the legendary Lakota warrior revered for his bravery and prowess.
Well, he was a very quiet guy. You know, he was never known to boast, brag, or gossip. There was almost like something that protected him. He was never shot once in battle.
In 1876, Crazy Horse led a band of Lakota warriors to victory in the Battle of Little Bighorn, otherwise known as Custer's Last Stand. No wonder he earned the respect of the American Army.
There's even a comment from one of the chiefs to one of the soldiers, "Why do you guys shake his hand? He fought against you."
His leadership must have been amazing.
In 1939, Chief Standing Bear reached out to artist Korchak Jukovsky. He was a self-taught sculptor who had assisted on Mount Rushmore, and many Native Americans believe Korchak was destined to carve the monument because he was born on the same day Crazy Horse had died 31 years earlier.
The first blast went off in 1948 when Korchak was 40. He spent the rest of his life laboring to make this dream a reality.
To carve a mountain to a race of people that once lived here for maybe 150,000 years? What an honor. A little Polish orphan boy from Boston? What an honor.
Today, the work continues under the leadership of his grandson, Caleb.
It's hard to imagine what that guy was thinking. He lives out of a tent and builds a log cabin, Then he's like, oh, I need to build a stairway, 741 steps to the top, and I'm going to climb that every day. He's working on it by himself. I don't know how he did it. It's incredible.
The process was so slow and arduous, it took about 10 years just for the face to emerge.
So you think that when you get that close to Crazy Horse that he won't seem as lifelike? Well, he seems even more lifelike. I mean, his eyes really seem to be looking across the beautiful Black Hills and thinking about his people.
Carving technology has come a long way since the early days. Now cuts are guided by satellite, and they use specially equipped tools such as this cable saw.
Every inch there are diamond bits in this rubber compound. So it just goes through this rock right here, and as it's cutting, then it's just going to start cutting.
That's correct. It's cutting this piece of rock here, and it's going up there to those pulleys and coming back into the machines.
This granite block weighs 12 tons. It's being used to practice carving a single toe. It's time and money-consuming work.
So the Crazy Horse Memorial is totally funded by admissions and donations. They have never accepted any government funding.
In fact, Korchak twice turned down $10 million in federal money. He and his wife Ruth built a visitor center to help raise funds.
My grandfather did a lot on the mountain, but there's a lot more to this place than just the mountain. And if you look at the university or the museum, the whole visitor service complex down there, she was really the one who ran the show.
In 2010, a university for Native American students was founded. This fulfilled Chief Standing Bear's belief that education be a part of the mission.
Today, the Crazy Horse Memorial attracts more than 1 million visitors a year. And most of the time, you have to view it from the foot of the mountain.
How are we doing today?
Good. But these adventurous folks are on a special 10K hike to the top.
How's it been so far? Has it been fairly flat?
It's been fun. I would not call it flat, no.
It only happens twice a year, and the fall hike coincides with a Buffalo Roundup. It's definitely worth the 6.2-mile trek to reach what some call the 8th wonder of the world.
If everybody's excited about Mount Rushmore, I tell them to check out Crazy Horse, because Mount Rushmore's nice, but this is cooler.
I think that it's a testament to a piece of South Dakota's beauty and that a lot of people don't get to see.
I think it's pretty awesome. I'm ready to see it completed.
Do you have an expected end date?
I like to say that we're going to finish on Tuesday. I'm not sure which Tuesday. It's going to be a Tuesday. We're really focused on that.
Maybe it'll take 100 years. What difference does it make?
I want to right a little of the wrong that they did to these people, because this is part of American history.
Coming up next.
Oh my God!
What happens when buffalo turn dangerous?
We're gonna head to the truck.
Yes, we're going to jump in the back of the truck.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. Everywhere you look in South Dakota, there is a beautiful vista.
That's right, but Rodney and I agree it's the buffalo and the roundup that really draws people here every fall to the Black Hills.
It takes your breath away watching the governor's Buffalo Roundup inside Custer State Park. That's why the event draws tens of thousands of spectators. But if you want an even bigger thrill, join the drive.
This is an adrenaline rush like nothing else. You know, when you have 1,500 buffalo in front of you and you're on horseback, there's no better place to be.
It's probably something like you would see in like an Old West movie. When you're riding, it definitely gets your heart pumping. Feel like you're stepping back in time.
It takes 60 riders to guide the herd, but 20 of them are novices, the lucky winners of a lottery.
So folks can put in an application and we'll draw out of the hat.
Do you have to have buffalo experience?
No.
If that sounds a little scary, it can be. That's why the newbies and their horses go on an orientation ride first to learn how to be around buffalo.
When you're out there, what do you have to focus on most of all?
You want to focus on the distance that you are from the buffalo. You've got to watch for cows, that they're just being protective of their calves and they don't like riders coming close to their herd.
If we have a tail that is straight down, then the animal's calm. But as the animal becomes more concerned, then that tail will slowly start to increase. And if it's straight up,
we're gonna head to the truck.
Yes, we're gonna jump in the back of the truck, yes.
Right now, the tails are just swatting flies.
Yeah.
So buffalo are pretty athletic. I mean, they can run up to 35 miles an hour. They can jump tall fences, and they're good swimmers.
Have you ever had a horse go, nope?
Oh, yeah.
Nope,
Yeah,
this is not my scene.
Yeah, it happens.
Some riders will back out as well, but the rest saddle up by 8 a.m. And if all goes smoothly, they will guide the buffalo into the corrals by 11. Of course, things don't always go smoothly.
Yeah, we were riding around and I'd look to my left and there'd be a horse without a rider. There was a couple people that got dumped. Well, we are ranchers normally, so chasing buffalo is different. They do want to come back and chase you too, so that was different.
We rode out there and I couldn't see any of my team members, and here I am sitting there going, I'm lost in the middle of the state park, and here they were just on the other side of the ridge. Coaches had never seen buffalo until yesterday during orientation.
And how'd that go?
Didn't bother him a bit. As far as the buffalo and all the whips cracking and the pickups going by, he just put his head down and went to work.
Whips have been around for 5,000 years, and they remain an important tool.
The Roundup, of course, all the wranglers are using them. They don't hit the animals, but they make the sound to direct them.
Todd Crinnan tries to get us cracking. He's an expert who makes and sells whips around the world.
Just watch me once. I'm going to throw the whip up, and then I'm going to stop, almost like I'm carrying that Olympic torch. Proud American right up here, and then you just stop up here. Go into the old torch position. There you go. Oh, I like it. I like it on the outside.
I stepped on it. I'm a mess over here.
Okay.
Right there it was. Like you're really mad at this thing, you're gonna throw it up hard. There you go. And we got a cracker! I love it.
Todd has us try an overhead technique as well, but maybe I should quit while I'm ahead.
Oh.
Thank you. This is hard to do.
No.
This is hard to do. Rodney, you've got to be better than this.
All right, let's see if I can whip circles around Jan. Nope. But maybe I'll have better luck if I try the original way.
See, look at that. That's the sound we're looking for.
Good job, Rodney, but we're definitely not looking for this.
Oh my God.
What happened?
And it turns out that whip cracking is in Rodney's blood.
Well, don't show that here.
Maybe next year I'll try my hand at the Roundup. It is awe-inspiring to watch the buffalo roam wild.
So I saw so many moms and babies paired up. We were told that they'll stay together until the mom has another baby. And then, sorry, Junior, you're out.
46IZV.
And just look at what there is to discover as this female gets her ultrasound.
Pregnant?
There's the baby.
8119.
There's the baby buffalo.
It's the miracle of life right before our eyes. The greatest affirmation that the Roundup is succeeding in its mission to make sure buffalo are a part of the American landscape for generations to come.
This is kind of the crown jewel moment for our state. A reminder for the rest of the country that this is still the West and this type of lifestyle still exists. And we want to hang on to it.
And we'll be right back.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal. Our trip to South Dakota has truly been filled with a lot of extraordinary experiences.
And being able to see a herd of wild buffalo being rounded up by 60 wranglers is a sight that none of us will soon forget.
And to come to the Crazy Horse Memorial and learn about Crazy Horse, what an amazing leader he was. But I think what inspired me the most is how honorable of a man he was.
Also, to see the monumental effort that is underway here to create the world's largest sculpture. And it's not only to honor Crazy Horse, but to honor all Native Americans.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
Well, he was a very quiet guy. I am sure more than one guy was told by his wife, why can't you be more like Crazy Horse, you know?
Just be quieter.